Hello everybody and welcome to another video of the Retro Review. This is the only video series here on YouTube that reviews all of the Coliseum home videos. Of course, these videos, obviously with today's technology, no longer available at stores. The only way you can get these videos are through Amazon and eBay. Of course, the purpose of this video series is to give a review of these videos and to tell you if they're worth going for or if you should just let them be. Now, this is a very interesting case, today's video, of it wasn't supposed to be the video that was released. Let me explain. The video that I'm about to review, at the end of the Coliseum videos, back when they were in the clamshell cases, was not advertised at the end of the 15th volume of their video library. What was originally supposed to be the video was, in fact, the original Royal Rumble, the 1988 Royal Rumble. However, along the way, somebody decided, we're going to scrap that idea and we're going to come out with another video. And that video is today's review. Video in hand, the women of the WWF. This video is hosted by Gene Okerlund, and I do have to admit, Gene Okerlund sounds like he may have been on some drugs while filming this video cassette. And this is just basically a look at, well, what the title says, the women of the WWF. So we start off with Wendi Richter. Yes, I know, 1988 Wendi Richter on a WWF videotape. I know, very weird. Anyway, she's defending the title against the Spider Lady. Now, if you go back to one of my earlier reviews in the Best of the WWF Volume 5, this match was reviewed. However, on this tape, you get the entire match. And, you know, for what it is, this is a good match. I mean, it's not the best match. I mean, it's just weird the way it's going, because it's like, right off the bat, Wendi Richter goes right after the Spider Lady, or the Spider, and she just, you know, just is punching at her, punching, kicking, you know, throwing forearms, and it's very weird to see how this is going. And Wendi does have control, for the most part, of this match. Spider Lady does get a couple of moves in here and there. And then we get the finish. And if you have not seen my review of the Best of the WWF Volume 5, I call this the New York Screwjob. Spider gets a small package on Wendi Richter. Referee counts 1, 2, 3. Richter has her shoulder up at like 1.5. Referee just does not see it. And Gorilla Monsoon is even confused about, that was a pin? We have a pinfall? You know, and it's revealed that Spider was, in fact, the Fabulous Moolah. And Wendi Richter is so upset that she just goes right after Moolah. And you could tell by Wendy's look that she got screwed. But that's another story for another day. So after the match, we go back and Mean Gene is with the Fabulous Moolah. This is where it gets interesting, because Fabulous Moolah says that I'm going to do my best Southern accent, I am the woman of the WWF. I am the woman of World Federation. That's what she says. And so then we go to a clip, and this is a black and white clip of Fabulous Moolah in a title defense against Vicky Williams. Now, here, you know, Mean Gene's like, oh, this match is from the 50s or the 60s. And Moolah's like, nah, this is from the 1970s. This is from the 70s. And, you know, Mean Gene points out that it's the old Madison Square Garden, and he even asks at one point, you know, that he had heard that Moolah had wrestled in front of President Roosevelt. And she's like, "No, I didn't wrestle in front of him. I heard you sat next to him." So we don't get to see the match, but at one point, Jean does ask Moolah a very good question about the toughest opponent that she has ever had. And she says that the two toughest opponents she ever had were Vicky Williams and Joyce Grable. Or, I'm sorry, Judy Grable. Not Joyce Grable, Judy Grable. And we don't get to see the whole, match, but I would just assume that Moolah won. I would at least assume. I could be wrong. Then we go to our next match where the Fabulous Moolah is defending the title against Debbie Combs. Now, throughout this match, and this is going to be a theme later on in this review, Lord Alfred Hayes pronounces one of the competitors' names wrong. He calls Debbie Combs Debbie Coombs. Debbie Coombs, she's got a real shot here tonight to win the ladies' title. Debbie Coombs. Poor Lord Alfred Hayes. This is an okay match. I'm not gonna really say, it's the greatest. Moolah has the offense really for most of the occasion, right up until about the end, and the end is very interesting because both women go to the outside. They're fighting. Combs body slams the Fabulous Moolah on the concrete floor. Then Combs picks Moolah up, gives her an atomic drop which sends Moolah into the post. Combs rolls back in, and Debbie Combs beats the Fabulous Moolah via countout. So Combs wins the match but doesn't win the title. And I like how Gorilla Monsoon is speculating that she'll get a rematch at the title. Maybe it'll be a no disqualification, no countout match. Oh, man. So, after that match, Jean and Moolah start talking again. And then here comes Peggy Sue. And this gets Moolah upset. Because Moolah's like, I was told that I was going to be the only one here. I'm the woman of the WWF. I was told this tape was all about me. You lied to me, Mean Gene. You lied to me. I'm going to smack you across the face if I ever see you again. And Peggy Sue, is just, she's just, talking in a high-pitched voice, sort of like a Mickey Mouse. Got her scarf covered her face, and Then we go to our next match. The Jumping Bomb Angels challenging Judy Martin and Leilani Kai, the Glamour Girls, for the WWF Ladies Tag Team title. Holy crap, what a match this is. This is a fantastic match. And I'm gonna say this on the record right now, because I've been doing, these reviews. You guys have been voting for about 5 years now. This is easily one of the best matches I have, number one, I've ever seen. And number two, one of the best matches I've seen since I've started reviewing the Coliseum videotapes. This is a tremendous tag team match. And what makes it great is that, here's Judy Martin and Leilani Kai, veteran female wrestlers. They've been in this business for a long time. Here are the Jumping Bomb Angels. They're young. They're from Japan. They're young. They're gonna be experienced wrestlers. And these four together are just fantastic with each other in the ring. I mean, we're seeing, from the Jumping Bomb Angels, we're seeing bridges, we're seeing top rope moves, we're seeing one walk on the top rope, we're seeing double team moves, double drop kicks, and Martin and Kai stay with these young Japanese women wrestlers. And it is such a fantastic match. And there's like 2 or 3 points in this match where you think, they're going to beat Martin and Kai. The Jumping Bomb Angels are going to beat Martin and Kai. They're going to win the belt. Either the referee is distracted at one point, or the referee's going for the pin and the other breaks it up. And this is just such a fantastic match. Yes, this is 1987, but this is such a great match. And then we get the ending of the match where the referee is distracted, and Judy Martin comes in, hits a power bomb on one of the Jumping Bomb Angels. Leilani Kai comes over, pins her, 1, 2, 3. Martin and Kai retain the tag team titles. It is just such a fantastic tag team match that even if you're not a fan of women's wrestling, which honestly, I'm sure there are a lot of, wrestling fans that aren't fans of women's wrestling, I would recommend you watch this match. And you will see, it's a fantastic match. I'll give you guys the date so you guys can look it up. It is from November 24, 1987. That's the date, Madison Square Garden, Judy Martin, Leilani Kai against the Jumping Bomb Angels. That's the match. So then we come back, and Peggy Sue is with Gene Okerlund, and this is, oh my God, I don't know where this segment went, because Peggy Sue, she's like, the Glitter Girls, they'd still be champions if it wasn't for that referee, Joey Marella, causing them the titles. And Mean Gene, is talking about, watching the match, and Peggy Sue is like, I saw you watching me earlier. And he's like, oh, I'm a happily married man. It's okay, I know you've seen it before. Oh my God, it's just absolutely crazy. So Mean Gene does reference the Royal Rumble for this next match. It is, again, Martin and Kai against the Jumping Bomb Angels. Ladies Tag Team title on the line, 2 out of 3 falls. Now, I will tell you, and I'm surprised I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to spoil this. But at some point when I get to the Best of WWF Volume 15, the full match of this match is on the tape. This is just a clipped version, a clipped sample, I guess you could say, of this match. So I'll just give you the quick results, because that's pretty much what happened on this tape. Martin hit a power bomb on one of the Jumping Bomb Angels. Her and Kai win the first fall. Then they go into the second fall, and it's a quick pin, and the Jumping Bomb Angels win the second fall. Then you go to the third and final fall, both Jumping Bomb Angels on the top rope, and hit the double drop kick on Kai. Kai gets pinned, the Jumping Bomb Angels win. They are the new Women's Tag Team Champions. So, down the line, when I get to the Best of WWF Volume 15, I'm going to review that whole match. So you guys will get a better review of that match. But this match is a good match. This match from the Royal Rumble is a good match. But that one from Madison Square Garden, oh my gosh, it is just unbelievable. So now we have Sensational Sherry joining Mean Gene and Peggy Sue. And, they talk for a little bit. And then we go to the match where Sensational Sherry wins the title. Sam Houston Coliseum against Fabulous Moolah. And this is a very scary thing, because Martel is wearing the most neon-colored combo I've ever seen. It's a light blue top and pink pants. Oh, it is so the definition of the 80s, folks. It really is. So we get to the conclusion of the match. Moolah is beating up on Martel, and she's not letting Martel come in. So after about a couple minutes, Martel goes around to the other side of the ring. Moolah picks her up. She's going to slam her. As she slams her, Martel reverses it into a small package. 1, 2, 3. Sherry Martel wins the women's title for the first time. Really an upset, in my opinion, at the time. Sensational Sherri beating Fabulous Moolah. Although one thing I do have to point out, and women, please forgive me, this is directly for the men. I want you to watch this match, and I want you to watch Sherri's upper torso. Remember I mentioned the blue top in this part? Look carefully at the blue top. That's all I'm going to say. So we go back to the studio again. Sherri is there. Peggy Sue's there. Well, here comes the Fabulous Moolah back again. And she's like, oh, you got her on? As I am the woman of the WWF. How dare you have her on? I'm going to regain my championship belt. And Peggy Sue tries to get involved, and Peggy Sue gets beat up. And then her wig is taken off, her scarf is taken off, and it's revealed to be Jimmy Hart. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Yep, Peggy Sue was really Jimmy Hart. So, after Moolah leaves again, we actually go to the rematch the next month for the women's title. And it is a completely different match. You get the whole match here. And the commentary is very unique, especially with Mike McGurk. Yes, the ring announcer from Wrestling Challenge back in the day. She originally started out as a commentator for WWE. And the Duke of Dorchester, Pete Doherty. At one point during this match, Mike McGurk talks about how when a female wrestler steps into the ring, you forget about being polite, you forget about your manners. To in which Duke Doherty, the Duke of Dorchester, goes, oh, so these broads, they come into the ring and they forget about their manners. Wow, what do you think? They're going to be even hotter now? Oh, it's... What can I say? So, the match happens. I can't recover from that one. The match happens, and it's a very weird ending. Because Sherri has Moolah in a move. Or, I'm sorry, Moolah has Sherri in a move. Moolah runs Sherri into the post. Hurts her shoulder. It looks like at the same time, Moolah sort of knocks herself out on the top turnbuckle. So both women back out. Sherri gets back and moving and hits a forearm that knocks down Fabulous Moolah long enough to get the 3 count and the victory. Sensational Sherri wins the title, or stays the champion. So Gene talks to Sherri, and Jimmy Hart, who is irate, he's talking like this for a moment before he gets back into his regular high-pitched voice because he's still upset about Fabulous Moolah going after him. And Mean Gene talks about our last match, where Sherri Martel defends the title against Desiree Peterson. And, Sensational Sherri says that how she's one of her toughest opponents so far as champion. As we go into that match, we see Jimmy Hart brushing his hair back with a female or with a woman's brush. It's funny. It's really funny. So we go into this match, Desiree Peterson against Sensational Sherri. Well, we almost had a wardrobe malfunction because the tie on the neck that keeps basically the top portion of Sensational Sherri's outfit was untied, I guess, would be the correct term. So this is a good 2 or 3 minutes of the referee trying to fix this in front of a crowd in Madison Square Garden. Go figure. Meanwhile, and I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. Lord Alfred Hayes again on commentary. If you remember earlier, like 5 minutes ago in this video, I said how Debbie Combs' name got butchered by Lord Alfred Hayes. Desiree Peterson's name gets destroyed by Lord Alfred Hayes. He's like, there's Desiree Peterson with a chance to be champion. It's Desiree. Desiree. Right, like you said, Gorilla. Oh, and he just butchers this poor woman's name. Oh my gosh. It's so bad. It's so bad. The match itself, it's actually not that bad of a match. It's an athletic match. Very even match. Until about the end. Towards the end of the match, Sherry runs to the corner, tries to stop herself. And it really looks like she may have dislocated the knee or her leg. It looked scary, but it wasn't bad enough, it looked like. So Desiree Peterson, not Desiree, sends Sherry into the ropes. Sherry then jumps and pulls Desiree down with her hair, pulls her down, pins her 1, 2, 3. Sensational Sherry wins. She retains the title. So after that match, Jimmy Hart is still upset. He just storms off the studio lot, and that's the end of him. And Mean Gene thanks Sensational Sherry for coming, and that's the end of the women of the WWF. So what did I think about this tape overall? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If you try to look this videotape up on eBay, this is one of the rarest videotapes to find. Probably because, number one, not a lot of people have ever heard of this tape, and number two, maybe the title of this videotape steers people away. However, this is a fun videotape to watch. This is very fun. From the studio segments with Mean Gene, either it be with Moolah or Peggy Sue or Sensational Sherry, it's entertaining. The matches are good, especially the one with the Jumping Bomb Angels and the Glamour Girls. That is a match I recommend everybody go see. This is a very important part of the history of wrestling. Women's wrestling is a very important part in the story of professional wrestling. There are people who don't like it. It's very well known that Lou Thesz would never work a show if there were women wrestlers on the card. It's very well known. But this is so good because you get, Fabulous Moolah matches, you get Sensational Sherry matches, and you get women's tag team matches. And when I was watching this, I was thinking, because, in the mid-'80s, there was the women's division. If the Jumping Bomb Angels had stayed in the U.S., how big could they have been? The sky could have been the limit for those women. It really could have. I'm going to start wondering about that. Because the Jumping Bomb Angels, if you've never seen them, it is worth a watch to watch those women in action. Overall, and this may surprise people, this is a definite must-have tape. Number one, because of how rare the videotape is. And number two, because of the matches that are on here. These aren't, there really isn't a terrible match on here. Because usually, at the end I'll say, okay, this is the best match or this is the worst match on the tape. To be honest, there really isn't a real bad match. If I had to pick one, it would be Moolah and Debbie Combs, but it's not that bad of a match. So all in all, I will say, if you want to learn more about the history of women's wrestling, if you want to learn more about Fabulous Moolah, Sensational Sherry, the Jumping Bomb Angels, Judy Martin, Leilani Kai, if you want to learn more about those women, this tape is for you. It is very good. Once you get this, like I said, this is one of the hardest tapes to find. One of the rare tapes in the Coliseum Video Library to find. If you can find it, get it, watch it, and I think you'll agree with me that this is a fantastic videotape. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Retro Review. Stay tuned in the upcoming weeks right here on this YouTube channel for the next voting period of Retro Review. I'm Wrestling Man. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. And just remember, there's no place like home. Coliseum, home